Hi everyone, Matheus here, and on this video I'm going to show you a little bit about block invalidation on Decred. Okay, so on the last video I've set up SimNet. I've set up a sample SimNet node, and on this video I'm going to show you what happens when stakeholders want to invalidate a block on Decred and what happens to the miner reward and to the network fund reward when the transactions are invalidated. Okay, so I've got a sample SimNet set up here. I'm at height 364 and I'm going to show a little bit about, I'm going to simulate here what is the usual procedure on Decred, and then I'm going to show how to set up a policy to reject blocks or to invalidate blocks, and then we're going to explore what happens with the miner and the development fund or the network treasury rewards. Okay, so let's just start here simulating the usual setup. So I'm going to mine a few blocks here, so you can see I'm at height 366 right here. I've got my wallet voting on the blocks here. You can see here block bits 1 means that the wallet is voting to approve the previous block. Okay, I can do a transfer here, which means that when mining, get block, get block hash 367. So you can see here that I've got the transfer that I've just performed, 262, and I've got the Coinbase transaction right here. This one is the Coinbase transaction, and if I try to get the rewards for the miner, so this is the Coinbase transaction for block 367, and if I mine a couple more blocks, you can see how the Coinbase reward is getting mined, and it's getting ready to be available. You can see here this is a Coinbase DX out. It has some confirmations, and it's basically the miner reward is available for spending. Okay, so now we're going to simulate what would happen if a miner started misbehaving and we wanted to enforce some policy. The stakeholders wanted to enforce some policy to block the miner rewards for a certain miner. Okay, these policies are not consensus enforced, so they are, you could say they are soft policies that stakeholders decide upon to enforce. So let's say, for example, that a miner is censoring some transaction, or a miner is refusing to update their software. The stakeholders could decide on any given policy and start enforcing it. So to show how this would happen, I have here the code for the CR wallet, and if you go looking for it, you're going to find a function named vote on owned tickets, which given the name should be pretty self-explanatory what it does, but basically it's going to a given voting wallet is going to choose how it's going to vote on a block. So we're going to enforce a policy here that every block ending on 5 is going to have its vote bits set to 0. Okay, if you look for this structure right here, this vote bits structure, this structure here is defined here, which is the voting bits. So you have 2 bytes and an extended set of bytes that can be used for future votings. So this is used both for agenda, for consensus voting, for block validity voting, and for consensus upgrades voting, okay? We're going to set these vote bits as 0, which means that we're going to vote false on the validity of the regular transactions or the regular transaction tree of blocks that end in 5, okay? This is a mod operation here, block height mod 10 equals 5, so every block which ends in 5, it's going to be voted false, okay? So I am going to recompile here. Let's rebuild the wallet. Now we're going to restart the wallet. Restarting the wallet. And let's mine a couple more blocks. So I'm at height 370, 71, 72, 73, 70. Oops, sorry, something happened here. Let's try again. 74, okay. And now I'm going to perform a transfer again. And so now watch what happens at height 375, okay? Let's mine block 375. And something happened here, something wrong happened here, okay. What happened here? Okay, I did something wrong. Oh, forgot to save the file here, sorry. Let's try again, okay. Small mistake here. Okay, let's try again. Restart the wallet. Okay. That's mine, okay, 76. 81, 82, 83, 84. Let's do a transfer. Let's now mine block 85. Okay, so now you can see that the wallet voted false on block 385. Okay, so let's now examine right here. Let's examine block 384. And let's examine, so block 384 has one transaction, okay, vote bits 1, so it's a regular block. Let's see block 385. So block 385 also has vote bits 1 and has 2 transactions. The transfer that I just performed from the wallet, you can see here it's a 6, and it has a Coinbase transaction, okay? And if I try to get details for this Coinbase transaction, it has the block reward, the miner reward, okay? And it has 0 confirmations because no block has been mined on top of it yet, okay? So now watch what happens when I'm going to mine, when I mine block 386, which is the block that is going to include the vote voting false on the validity of the previous block, okay? So you can see here that the vote is false, and let's mine a block. Okay, so on block 387, the voting bits are 1, 386, sorry. So let's now get block 386. You can see here that the vote bits are 0. Okay. It has one transaction. But now watch what happens when I try to get the... Remember, this is the miner reward for block 385. It's empty. So get the X out is the function that tries to figure out tries to get an unspent transaction output. So the UTXO for the miner reward for block 385 is empty. It's not returned, which means that the reward for block 385 has been cancelled, has been stripped. Okay, and let's now mine another block, and let's see this block 387. You're going to see something interesting. So 387 has vote bits 1, and it has 2 transactions, the Coinbase transaction and that wallet transaction we had previously sent. So you can see that this transaction right here, A6AF, has been mined twice in the blockchain, which usually would be a double spend, but since block 385 has been cancelled, the regular transaction tree of block 385 has been invalidated, this transaction is able to be included again in the blockchain. So this block here has been included twice, in block 387 and in block 385. But if we check on the wallet, if we try to get details for this transaction right here, you can see that it's going to have one confirmation, okay? Because the most recent block where it was mined was 387, okay? So that's basically how block invalidation works in Decred. Once a block is voted false, the miner reward and the treasury reward, or the development fund reward, or the network fund reward is also stripped, and transactions that were included in the invalidated block are able to be included in a new block. Okay? So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.